But before we get into it, I need to clear something up, because if I don't, someone in the comments is going to say it anyway.
Can you actually make your wrists thicker? Yes and no. Real answer? It depends on what's holding yours back right now. Wrist size is partly bone, partly muscle, partly tendon. You can't grow the bone. That part's done. But the muscle bellies in your forearm, the ones that wrap around and attach just above and below the wrist joint, those absolutely respond to training. And most people have barely touched them, like ever. So if you're starting from zero, you've got way more room to grow than you think. Even a quarter inch of added forearm muscle close to the wrist changes the whole look. Changes how a sleeve sits, changes how a handshake feels. It's not nothing. Okay, week 1. The first week is not about crushing your forearms. I know that's not what you want to hear. You want to go hard right away, I get it. But the tendons and connective tissue around the wrist take way longer to adapt than the muscle does. You can push the muscle faster than the tendons can keep up, and then you're sitting out for 3 weeks with wrist pain wondering what went wrong. So week 1 is about waking the joint up, not torching it. What you're doing every single day this week, and I mean every day, this part is non-negotiable, is wrist circles. Both directions, 30 seconds each way. That's it to start. Sounds embarrassing. Do it anyway.
Then you're adding rice bucket work. If you don't have a rice bucket, fill a pot, fill a Tupperware, fill a shoebox, I don't care. Plunge your hands in, rotate, open and close, do figure eights, 5 minutes. The resistance is low enough that you're not going to blow anything out, but the muscle activation is surprisingly solid. Old school boxers have been doing this forever for a reason. By the end of week 1, your forearms are going to be sore in places you didn't know could be sore. Little weird spots near the inside of the wrist, maybe along the pinky side. That's normal. That's actually a good sign. It means you've been ignoring those muscles your whole life and they're finally waking up. Don't skip days. That's the whole point of week 1, building the habit loop before the intensity picks up. Week 2. Now we add load. 2 moves. That's all you need this week. Wrist curls and reverse wrist curls. Grab a light dumbbell, lighter than you think. I'm talking 10 pounds if you're a bigger dude, 5 if you've never done direct forearm work. Sit on the edge of a bench or a chair. Rest your forearm on your thigh, let your wrist hang off the end, and curl it up. 3 sets of 20, both directions, palm up and palm down. The reverse version, palm facing down, is going to feel way harder and way weaker. That's normal. Most people have a massive imbalance there, and that imbalance is actually one of the reasons wrists look thin. The muscle development is lopsided. Do this 3 days this week, not every day. You need recovery time now that there's actual load involved. And here's the thing I want you to pay attention to: the squeeze at the top. Don't just flap your wrist up and down like you're waving goodbye. Control it. Squeeze at the top, lower it slow, 4 seconds down. That time under tension is where the actual growth signal comes from. By the end of week 2, you should be able to feel the muscle contracting when you squeeze a fist. That mind-muscle connection to the forearm is something most guys have literally never developed. Once you have it, everything else gets more efficient.
Week 3. Week 3 is where it gets fun. We're keeping the wrist curls. Bump the weight up slightly if the sets felt easy. But now we're adding grip work. And specifically, we're adding loaded carries, farmer's walks. If you've never done these, you've been missing out on one of the most underrated exercises in existence. Pick up something heavy in each hand. Dumbbells, kettlebells, grocery bags filled with water bottles if that's what you've got. And just walk. 30 to 40 feet. Put them down. Rest. Do it again. 3 to 5 rounds. What's happening here is that the wrist and forearm are under constant isometric tension the entire time. Every step creates a micro instability that your grip has to correct for. It's not just about strength, it's about density. The muscle learns to stay contracted, stay braced, stay thick. That's the look we're going for. Also this week, dead hangs. Find a pull-up bar, hang for 30 seconds, rest, hang again. 3 sets. The decompression is good for your shoulders, but for us right now, the important part is the grip endurance and the way it stretches and loads the wrist extensions at the same time. It sounds simple. It is simple. Simple works.
You are officially 3 weeks in at this point. If you've been consistent, and I mean even just mostly consistent, like 6 out of 7 days each week, you're already noticing something. The forearms look a little more filled out. The wrist doesn't look as bony when you hold your hand up. That's real. That's actual tissue change happening. Keep going.
Week 4, last week, and this is where we stack everything. You're doing wrist curls, heavier now, sets of 12 instead of 20. You're doing farmer's walks. You're doing dead hangs. And we're adding one more thing, towel pull-ups, or towel rows if you can't do pull-ups yet. Drape a towel over your bar, grip each end, and do your rows or pulls. The unstable, thick grip of the towel forces your wrist stabilizers and your finger flexes to work overtime the entire movement. It is brutal. Your forearms will be on fire by rep 6. That's the point. 3 days of full sessions this week. Keep the rice bucket and wrist circles as your daily warm-up every single morning. That part doesn't stop just because the program is almost done. By day 31, you're not going to have the wrists of a professional arm wrestler, let's be real. But here's what you will have: a legitimate foundation, measurably stronger grip, visibly more developed forearm muscles, especially that outer sweep near the wrist. And maybe most importantly, you'll have a protocol you can actually keep doing, because this stuff compounds. Month 2 is better than month 1. Month 6 is unrecognizable compared to where you started. The guys with thick wrists didn't get them from 1 month of effort. They got them from showing up consistently for a long time, but they all had a month 1. This was yours. Do your wrist circles tomorrow morning. Pick up something heavy. Hang from something. Keep going. That's the Ape Dude way.
And hey, if you're putting in this kind of work on the small stuff, you better make sure you're not sabotaging yourself on the big lifts too. I did a whole video on why your shoes are literally killing your squat numbers. Not clickbait, go watch that next. And if the wrists are getting thicker, but the arms are still looking like you skipped every arm day since 2019, I got you. There's one calisthenics move that hits your arms harder than curls ever will. No equipment, no gym. Go find that video and thank me later.